Hi, I'm Janet Vail, and I coordinate the Grand Valley State University Globe Partnership. We've been a Globe partner since 1998. My topic today is hydrology data sources to supplement Globe data. We're going to look at the importance of time series data, online data sources for lakes, rivers, and streams, plus some online data sources that involve buoy observation systems. There are many questions that can be answered by looking at data. For instance, how does the data compare with other dates? How does the data compare with another site? Are the data reasonable? Are there any patterns in the data? And what can be learned from the data? Let's take a look at the Globe Visualization site. As you can see, there are a few schools throughout the United States that were taking their water temperature observations. But as you can see, the schools are rather scattered. Again, at the Globe Visualization site, you can see the number of measurements reported over the years. And the size of the dots are going to indicate how many they had for this period of time. And notice there's a variation geographically, as well as how many observations have been made. This brings us to the idea of time series observations. A time series is a collection of observations of well-defined data items obtained through repeated measurements over time. From this, you can look at trends, patterns, comparisons, hypothesis testing, developing explanations, and checking for errors, among other things. Is there a way that we can supplement Globe data to have a more comprehensive data set? The answer is yes. Here's an example of some online data. This is found at the Current Water Data for the Nation website, and you see that the map is very much more populated than what we were seeing the Globe Visualization website. The National Water Quality Portal, or the portal, brings over 250 million water quality data records collected by over 400 federal, state, and tribal agencies, as well as other water partners. You're able to see current conditions, site conditions. You can search for surface water, groundwater, general water quality, water use. Here's a map of the sites that are in this system. As you can see, you can easily search by a street address, and that street address could definitely be where your Globe site is located. Then after doing that, you're going to be able to see what sites are nearby. One of the sites near our university is on the Grand River, and from this site we can pull up daily data, including temperature, conductivity, dissolved oxygen pH measurements. We can also at this site find, for instance, temperature over a period of years. There are also numerous regional resources. For instance, the Chesapeake Bay Monitoring System with the Maryland Department of Natural Resources has all sorts of water quality data available online. The Michigan Clean Water Corps does lake monitoring, stream monitoring. It's all about citizen monitoring, and they have a data exchange. Less well known are buoy observatory systems. They are located in the ocean and in the Great Lakes. They are taking observations that would be interesting to link up with Globe data. Here are some examples of Great Lakes buoy observatories. These are of particular interest to our Globe partnership because we are located on the west side of Michigan. Our partnership's hydrology measurements are taken in Muskegon, Michigan. We're fortunate to have two buoy observatories nearby. One is in Lake Michigan. Another is on Muskegon Lake. Students who are on our research and education vessel are able to take their hydrology measurements and compare it with what's going on with the buoy in any particular time. Muskegon Lake is what is known as a drowned river mouth. Students compare the water quality in Muskegon Lake with Lake Michigan. Sensors in the buoy observatory provide meteorological observation as well as water quality measurements at various depths. Data are sent to a server where they are integrated into an online system. The buoy observatory generally operates from April through November. When it's operating, you're able to see current conditions on Muskegon Lake. Here's an example of the meteorological data that you were able to see. And here's the water quality data for conductivity, pH, dissolved oxygen at various depths. An online data system allows you to download data and to visualize data. You can easily select your variables, you can select your graph type, and you can select your range of dates. Here's an example of a question that can be answered using the data grapher. How does dissolved oxygen change at different depths throughout the seasons? Here are the results from the data grapher, and you can easily see that at two different depths, 2 meters and 8 meters, there's a bit of difference then between dissolved oxygen during the spring, the summer, and the fall. To see if this is a reoccurring pattern, here is using the data grapher for dissolved oxygen at 2 depths over 3 years. This website easily allows students to explore time series data. There are a variety of sensors that could be used alone or in combination, and students get an opportunity to decide what type of data display they want to use, and there's also the ability for students to download data sets. A Globe Hydrology learning activity from 1997 has ideas for comparing sites. I would like to leave you with a few take-home points. Time series observations are key to understanding data that are collected. There are online sites that can provide data for comparison with globe measurements. And finally, many websites have data for downloading and data analysis capabilities.